I want to welcome you to this week's episode of the Shugyo podcast. My name's Adam, and welcome back. I've been gone for a couple weeks. I was in Japan training and traveling a bit. Some of the details of that trip and some of the things that we did along the way I'm going to be sharing in later episodes. But for right now, my priority is to share with you the messages that my teacher, Manaka Unsui, was happy to provide for us. We sat down on the final day of training, and we had a conversation centered on the preservation of Kobudo and what that means to him and the considerations that we as Westerners should have going forward in our own training. After the episode, I'm going to come back and I'm going to sort of deconstruct what Sensei shared and share my own feelings and observations about that. So for right now, I'd like you to put down the phone or, turn off the television, because you're going to really need to focus. Sensei shares 3 core messages I was able to discover. Maybe you'll hear some more than I was able to. But really focus here, because I feel that this is one of the more important conversations that I've had with my teacher, especially given the times that we live in. What Sensei has to share with us is meaningful and also a bit profound. So with this episode, I welcome my teacher, Manaka Unsui. Let's get started.
Welcome to Shugyo, reflections on the path to self-mastery and forging the way. My name is Adam Mitchell. I'm your host and fellow student along this path.
First, I will talk about Japanese culture and education before Second War, 1945. Our education system or education subject comes from Bushido based on Kobudo. That's why Kobudo is very, very the fundamental. Of course, not only technique, mental part is very important. So we said, usually we said, before start, bow, after training, bow. 礼に始まり、礼に終わり. It's from Kobudo everything. And then so Japanese studied that manner or knowledge or something. Anyway, based on Bushido, Kobudo. But after Second War, your General MacArthur inhibit Kobudo, Bushido, Shinto, everything. That's why now Japanese, so almost 70 Japanese cannot understand Kobudo or Bushido something. So now generation is very strange, not normal Japanese, I think. Our age is floating between the modern and the old style. I'm here. But I trained many old Japanese style. Therefore, I can keep the 100 years ago Japanese. This is very, very interesting and important, very important point. So you can't understand Japanese, modern Japanese. Maybe they have not that education fundamental or something. The modern Japanese studies General MacArthur's education. That is not our Japanese. Unfortunately. But recently, so we have to be back to the old style education or subject or something, because same as AI, Now, human controlled AI, but next year, AI controlled AI. And then after next year, AI controlled human, I think. So at that time, human come back to the analog society, analog something. Analog society is our society, martial arts society. So Adam is very good because so he built up a new dojo inside the forest, and no light, no electricity. It's good. No electricity is very nice. The night is lantern, something, kerosene lantern or something. And you cannot use this. No TV. But your mental come back to the original human life. It's a no stress life, I think.
Right.
I think that now digital society is very difficult. Too fast to go to something, right? So human doesn't keep up with the changing. Therefore, you have a lot of stress. Food is same. Now we eat food, the changing DNA. It is not original. So the changing DNA plant against the insect or some sick or something. I think that is bad for our bodies. Insect eat something, human eat the same one. It's good. It's natural, I think. So we should back to 100 years ago's education or something, I think. So when you teach our Kobudo, you should don't forget the based on Bushido. Bushido. The manner or how to think. The Bushido is always Gono-sen. Always Gono-sen, not Sen-no-sen. Gono-sen. So our martial arts based on Gono-sen. Watching everything and understand, and then you should do something. Maybe next year, I retired from martial arts, every martial arts. I go to the third society. The first society is military, second society is martial arts, and then third. I'm searching now what is my next life. Understand? In my basic idea of dojo is natural, not house, not like this. Outside, nature is dojo. It's my idea. Important is how to think. Only how to think. That's it. The gi, no gi, it doesn't matter. You can wear the bathing suits or something in the training. But don't forget the fundamental. Fundamental part is the Bushido or something. Other things is facility or the gi or something. This part is important. So your choice, the dojo or gi or something. It doesn't matter. My knowledge or experience is old one 50%, modern is 50%. So please back to the 100 years ago something. I recommend. So you can understand the real Japanese, what kind of subject they study or something. So I read 100 years ago book, the kid book. That book is very easy to understand how to create a baby to teenage. The first 5 years, you have to do this something. So next 5 years, you should do something. Age is different to learn, and then do the something. At first, it's make friendly. Next generation, take care your parent or old, like that. And then last part is you have to study the old Japanese history. Shinwa, I think you have Shinwa also.
I hope you were able to get as much from that conversation that I was able to. Possibly you were able to see a couple of things that you'd like to share in the comments wherever you're listening to this or watching the video. The three things that stood out for me in Sensei's message, the first being that our need to really understand the original way of the Japanese mindset pre-World War II, when he talked about how young people were educated and so much of the Bushido was implemented in their study, and how Sensei has gone on and he references that 50% of his life is in the new and 50% still exists in the old, and how important this is to maintain a uniquely sort of Japanese construct around what it is that we do. So I think that there's a lot of lessons to be taken away from that, especially when he merged into talking about sort of the alignment with nature. I thought it was interesting how Sensei brought up AI and those three stages that he shared, where right now man controls AI because it's something that was created programmatically by man. He said, but maybe next year AI is going to control AI. And we're already seeing that, where AI is now writing its own algorithms. And then the year after that, Sensei says, then AI will control humans. And what does that mean for us? And how can we sort of, how can we resolve that within ourselves, within our communities, or if you're an instructor for your students? Well, that's to continue your training as you are, but do so in that early mindset, that early construct that Sensei was talking about, and not deviating from that, being close to nature. Sensei talked about the dojo not having electricity and not having heat, but actually training out in the natural environment, and that was his dojo. I think that this is very important, especially going forward as we become more reliant, as we have over the last 30 years and even further back, as we become more reliant on technology. I think that there's going to be even more of a creep than we expected of this technology into our, not just our day-to-day, but our hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute lives. Our reliance on artificial intelligence, our reliance on technologies to the point where we begin to lose our own decision-making, and these technologies make our decisions for us. Kobudo and the study in pursuit of the work that we do in the dojo is going to become a very important thing for all of us. So I think Sensei's message there should be really heard. Finally, Sensei shared that in alignment with everything is to not worry so much about the look of your gi or what design you have in your dojo or what patches you wear on your sleeve, but to focus on the origin and the original mindset of Kobudo, and to follow that path with certain dignity and with commitment. And the path will reveal itself through the training, and you have to stay true to the training and not make things up and not play make-believe, but also not be so concerned with the vanity of the big, beautiful dojo and, wearing the right uniform. In fact, Sensei said, that's up to you. You can wear any uniform. You can train anywhere. And he said to me, my dojo is the woods. It's in the rain. It's in the sunshine. This is very inspiring to me because this validated a lot of things and a lot of beliefs that I have and a lot of the direction that I'm going in my own personal training. I know that, and not to reveal too much right now because I don't like really talking about things that haven't come true yet, but some of my own personal goals involve providing opportunities for people to step away from states of anxiety and stress that they're going to live in as technology continues to accelerate at a slingshot rate. Things are going to pick up, things are going to get faster, and the evolution of these technologies, as I already mentioned, is going to become much, much more overt in our constant lives. And having a sort of a retreat to where you can be away from that and you can return to your primitive self, your natural self, to be able to go into the dojo and to be able to put your gi on and to be able to train whatever that looks like, regardless of your age and regardless of your abilities or lack of, to be able to still return to nature, to where you don't hear the ambient noise of cars and horns and lights and machines, but you hear the ambient noise of birds and the wind and the leaves, where there's a place that message tones and phone ringing don't exist, and you don't hear the noise of the machines and the air conditioners running, but you hear the silence of nature. And in that, you're able to return to your natural self, and through the study of Kobudo, you're able to actually push yourself forward in that state and be in a place of discovery of who you are and what potential you have as a human, regardless of where you are in your own stage of life. And I think that this is most important. And when it comes to the primitive martial arts, regardless of where they're from, it doesn't make a difference. Asian, European, Japanese, Chinese, Portuguese, it doesn't make a difference. But being able to have an opportunity to return to the primitive self, to where you can push yourself forward, to where you can go to that place of conflict inside of Keiko, to where you can offer tension so that there can be release. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's think of a guitar. In order for you to find harmony in the strings, the guitar itself has to be balanced. If you have a guitar that's out of balance, the neck is warped or the body is broken somehow and things just aren't, the tuning knobs are bent, you're never going to be able to have harmony. But in order for that balance to exist, everything has to be in a state of tension, right? So the strings have tension and the body has to be able to support that tension. This is what, for us as martial artists, this is what the Keiko, the training, this is what it provides. And this is only my opinion. I know many books over centuries have been written about this, but this is only my own observation and my own personal feeling of the message that Sensei was able to provide. That through this training in a natural state where we're able to step away and remove ourselves from the constant input of technology, we can go to a place where we revert back to our natural state and who we are, and we're able to train hard, whether it's grappling, whether it's sword, whether it's even hiking, or just sleeping in a cabin in the woods with no electricity, no phone, no computer, and no agenda. Nobody looking for you, nobody calling you, nobody texting you, no dopamine spikes at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep and you just hop on Instagram. All of that is gone. And I think that this is an important place for us to consider as we move forward. And it's a wonderful and even beautiful place for our study of Kobudo. And I found this to be Sensei's real sincere message in this as we go forward in the considerations as martial artists that we collectively should make. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Shugyo.
Shugyo is brought to you by the Yasaragi Dojo, a traditional Japanese martial arts school and nonprofit 501c3 organization located in New York. I'm your host, Adam Mitchell, and I truly hope that you found some value and inspiration from this conversation. If you'd like to learn more about our dojo, yes, it's an actual physical dojo, not just some virtual one made up on the internet, find us on the web at yasaragidojo.com. The link is in the show notes. Or go ahead and access our free mobile app for iPhone and Android. There, you can access our daily training, coaching, live streams, meditations, workshops, and both online and in-person retreats. Our work depends on the generosity of our supporters, dedicated students around the world, and you by listening to this episode. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, and you'll be updated on new episodes and reflections as they roll out. And if you know someone who will enjoy the conversation that we had today, please go ahead and share. Once again, my name is Adam. This is Shugyo. Until next time.